The Noctua NH-D12L Chromax.Black is an all-black version of Noctua's NH-D12L low-height 120mm class CPU cooler developed to combine quiet cooling performance with increased case compatibility. Measuring only 145mm in height, it is 13mm lower than Noctua's regular 120mm models. But how does this reduction in height affect performance? You will soon find out in this review. The cooler's heatsink follows the dual tower design and uses 5 heat pipes to remove the heat from the block. The single fan is an NF-A12X25R, which is enough to handle increased thermal loads. Because of the single fan and the asymmetrical fin stacks, the NH-D12L has increased RAM compatibility, supporting all popular Intel sockets, along with the AMD AM4 and AM5 ones. The cooler is shown on the box's face. More technical details are on the sides of the box. The bundle includes all necessary mounting hardware, including a low noise adapter, LNA. Despite the dual tower design, the cooler's dimensions are notably smaller than the NH-D15, thanks to the reduced height. Moreover, the asymmetrical design helps maximize RAM compatibility, which is usually the problem in large air coolers. The absence of a second fan is also crucial regarding RAM compatibility. The block's finish is not mirror-like, but this doesn't affect performance if you use the proper thermal paste. Speaking of which, a small tube of the Noctua NT-H1 thermal paste is included in the bundle. Thanks to the detailed instructions, the installation process is easy. For Intel systems, you will use the provided backplate, while for AMD sockets, you will use the stock one. But you will have to remove the stock brackets. For AMD systems, Noctua provides the ability to use an offset to lower temperatures, which I advise you to do. A photo of the AMD test system in the climate chamber that I use for all of my testing. Noise, 170% of maximum speed. It is remarkably low. Noise level according to fan speed. The higher the RPM in this charts, the better, especially in the normalized noise charts. The NH-D12L performs well in the normalized noise charts, proving its optimal noise design. Frequency plots, 40% fan speed. The highest spike is at 400 Hz, which is bearing noise. 50% fan speed. The highest frequency range is from 400 to 630 Hz. 60% fan speed. The highest frequency range is from 400 to 630 Hz again. 70% fan speed. 500 Hz is the top frequency. 80% fan speed. Again, 500 Hz is the top frequency. 90% fan speed. 250 Hz and 315 Hz are the highest. And full fan speed, there are two notable spikes at 315 and 630 Hz. The signal recordings, I have enabled the automatic gain control AGC to make it easier for you to reproduce them. Normalized noise tests. Intel first. CPU temperature. This is the smallest among all air coolers I have evaluated so far in dimensions, so naturally it cannot stand out from the crowd in temperatures. CPU frequency. CPU frequencies are low compared to the rest of the coolers in these graphs. CPU wattage. The CPU's TDP is lower than that of the rest of the coolers, which have larger dimensions for air coolers or are high-end all-in-ones. AMD results. CPU temperature. Only the 20 decibels chart is the NH-D12L in the middle, but this doesn't mean anything without checking the average CPU frequency and wattage. In the rest of the graphs, the temperatures are higher than those of the all-in-ones, as expected. CPU frequency. The CPU clocks are notably lower for the Noctua cooler. CPU wattage. We notice notably lower CPU power consumption because the cooling capabilities are not as high as a capable all-in-one. Overall performance. Intel To calculate each cooler's overall performance, I take into account three factors: the CPU's temperature, wattage and frequency, by using the following equation. Each chart shows the cooler under test as 100% and every other product's performance as relative to it. Charts do not favor the NH-D12L, which has compact dimensions and a dead silent fan. Performance per price, Intel. Given its $100 price tag, I expected an even lower place in these charts, but most all-in-ones are notably more expensive and the performance of the Noctua cooler is pretty good given its dimensions. Overall performance, AMD. Relative performance is low since I compared it to two strong all-in-ones. Performance per price, AMD. The promo Arctic prices kill the competition, but they will end soon. Till then, these charts are for reference purposes only. That said, compared to $30 to $40 more expensive all-in-ones, the performance of this Noctua cooler is strong enough to allow it for a high place in these charts, even with its $100 price tag. The Noctua NH-D12L Chromax.Black is among the smallest high-end air coolers on the market. It can cope with the increased thermal loads of power-hungry processors like the Intel i9-14900K and AMD Ryzen 9 7950X. It has a high price tag, as is the case for almost all Noctua products, but its build quality is fantastic. On top of that, it uses a quality fan which helps it achieve a dead silent operation. This is the primary advantage of air coolers compared to all-in-ones. The first achieve much quieter operation at the expense of the increased footprint, which can create compatibility issues with RAM modules and enormous mainboard VRM heatsinks. The all-black design of this cooler helps it hide its already small dimensions. It doesn't do anything about the high price tag though, which puts this air cooler in the all-in-one territory. All Noctua products have extra high build quality and achieve good performance, but their prices are high, and this turns away many users, especially the ones on tight budgets. For $50 to $60, the NH-D12 Chromax.Black would easily get a recommendation from me, since despite its compact dimensions, it manages to control the temperatures of power-hungry processors. Still, at the current $100 price tag, you must be a huge fan of the brand to prefer this product over a less expensive air cooler or an all-in-one. If you are searching for fans for your all-in-one or chassis, read my best cooling fans article before investing in new cooling solutions. You will find it on hwbusters.com, and on this site you will also find the full review of this air cooler. That was all, guys. Bye bye.